Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day. I had an opportunity to hit up the local comic shop and ran into an artist there, an artist and his son at the local comic shop, and we had a fantastic conversation. He has been watching the channel and reviewed the video that I did on the CGC case and commended me on the quality, not just of that video, but many of the videos that get released from the channel. And it was just cool to have a conversation with an artist that really does some fantastic work, just kind of on the humble. I just rolled in the comic shop trying to pick up some books and stumbled into a fantastic conversation with this artist and also his son, who is also a creator as well. So again, I'm super jealous of all those people out there that have these fantastic talents that they hone, and then their kids get these talents and skills and stuff like that. Again, that the creativity bug just completely jumped me. And you guys will hear a lot more about that in an upcoming video that I'll be releasing, where I'm talking about my family members who are one of which is a creative sort. But this video is going to be a little bit different. I think I'm going to talk about some stuff that normally I don't necessarily talk about, and we're going to talk about it. Then we're going to just open this thing up, man. We're going to open it up. We're going to have a free-for-all chat. Whatever you guys want to talk about, you throw it in all caps, and we will actually talk about it. But over the last couple of months, I've received a lot of messages from people about the 100K comic book collection that I picked up. And you guys have seen a series of videos in which I've actually unboxed some of those comic books for you so that you guys can be part of that experience. You recently saw a video in which the first batch of books actually came back from CGC from that 100K collection. You've seen the stuff that I've done with Key Collector app, where we are actually posting up really awesome books on Key Collector app that have been found in the collection. There's a lot of fun that I'm having with this collection. There's videos that I've created looking at comics and toys and cartoons from the 80s, just having a ton of fun. And now I am in a position where I'm actually going to start offering up some of these books to you guys, but it's going to be in a controlled manner, right? It's going to be in a controlled manner, and it will be primarily through my website. So I'm letting you guys officially know, per the videos that I've released and the communications that I've had with people, wanted to let everybody know that the books that you recently saw in the CGC unboxing are all available, except for one, on my website right now, regiecollects.com. If you are interested in picking up any of those books, you can actually go over to that site. You can make your purchase there. All of that stuff is all available, with the exception of one book that I'm actually holding back in my personal collection. Part of the reason why I waited to do this video, this live stream right now, is because I was actually waiting on something that literally just arrived. I had to flag down the UPS man, this is the backup UPS driver, because my normal guy would have known where my house was located, but the backup guy, he does not know he does not know where I'm located. And so he's just driving up and down the street up and down. So I yelled out, "Bro, do you have a package for me?" And he stops. He jumps out of his seat. He goes to the back. He comes back with my package. And my wife told me I was rude. I was just trying to get the man's attention. And I am also very direct. So this is what I've been waiting on. This roll right here. This is what I'm actually going to be putting on all of the comics that are going to be sold via the website, a Regie Collects Pedigree Collection sticker. And I put pedigree, as you guys heard me talk about previously, in quotes, because it is not a true CGC definition pedigree collection, but it is an impressive collection that I've been able to be able to own now. And I wanted to recognize those books that are actually coming out of this collection. And so there are people that have already bought a couple of books. Those books have not yet shipped because I was waiting for this to come, and it was supposed to be here, I think, yesterday. And then it was earlier today, and then it was later today, and then I had to actually go out and find the UPS guy to actually get it. But this is what is going to be on the back of all the CGC slabs that are being sold via my website. What I did is I tried to order a sticker that could actually be easily removed. So if someone has it and they want to remove it, they are free to do it. But I at least wanted to acknowledge the fact that the book was pulled from this particular collection. So hopefully people appreciate that. And again, it's easy to remove if you don't want it. It's like when you buy the car and the car comes with the dealer's thing on the back of the car. I am a huge fan of being like, I need you to remove that because you're not paying me to advertise. So I need you remove that from my car. I also take off the license plate holder that they also brand because I'm not a fan of that stuff. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this a removable sticker, at least in me testing it out. It seems to be easily removable. But I thought it was a very cool thing to be able to do for the books that are coming out of this collection. Because I've actually had one person pick it up and was like, hey, I bought this because I wanted to own a part of what you've just done. And so I wanted to kind of communicate that to folks. So with that, again, RegieCollects.com is the website. All of that stuff is there. Right now, it is only the most recent graded books that were released in that video that I showed. At some point down the road, there will be more books that are put up there, more graded, more raw books in the future. I am taking my time to do this. So just be aware that I am in no rush to do any of this stuff. So you just have to bear with me on like what's going to be put up, when it's going to be put up, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully folks get that. I have a lot on my plate between the channel and the family and the job and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be, you know, driven by my capacity to do some of this stuff. So hopefully people get where I'm coming from with that. So with all that said, I'm actually going to pop over to the chat right now, see what you guys are talking about. And again, hopefully be able to engage you guys in a little bit of a sweet Christmas stick. Well done. Master Blaster over here. This dude. So here's the thing. This dude flexed so hard. He flexed so hard on the Instagram machines earlier today. He's a fan of the Yellow Label and signed Yellow Label comics. And he put up a video on the Instagram machine of many of his fantastic signed books. And it was like a yellow Christmas. I mean, it was just, there was a plethora of heat that was on this table. So if you guys are on the Instagram machine, check out my man, Master Blaster. I absolutely enjoy this guy, and a great sense of humor, soldier, and just all around a good family man. So I definitely appreciate that. Berg family 54 is in the house. How you doing, brother? I definitely appreciate you. Tina is in the house. The Blue Wrench is here. Looking forward to getting that sticker on a book when I can, brother. I respect what you just said. When you can. I'm actually thinking my way through how I want to do it for raw books. Because raw books are going to be in poly bags. And so I don't know if I want to put the sticker on a poly bag. It's a little bit different versus a slab. So I'm still trying to think my way through how I want to do that. I was thinking about like a certificate, but that's a little too formal, you know, so I need to continue noodling the raw book thing. But for right now, again, this is what I'm going to be doing for the slabs. And if I start to sell some nicer raw books, I may put them in Mylar, and then I may put the sticker on the Mylar. That's a little different, you know, versus just a cheap poly, which folks may want to replace with a Mylar or something like that. So I just need to think a little bit more about that. So definitely appreciate where you're coming from, brother. Burke family says he needs to watch the CGC unboxing. That's a pretty popular video. That video did pretty darn well in the first 24 hours. And so it's also, it's off to a really good start in many ways. So if you get a chance, make sure you check it out. What do you think, or I think is the best investment book? Yeah, that's a tough one, Kid Collector. I think there's a lot of people out there that will provide you with all types of guidance on how you should spend your money. That's not necessarily my gig, right? I don't really tell people what to do. I ask people a lot of questions and help them to decide for themselves where they want to you know, spend their hard-earned money. So I would definitely encourage you to go on and watch some of the videos on the channel. Like if you search for Regie Collects My Speculation Strategy, there's some insight there. If you check out some of the blog posts on Go Collect, there's some recommendations there for some blue ocean books that you may want to pick up, but I don't necessarily tell people when or how to spend their money. Just not my thing. So scrolling down, Wes, I definitely appreciate that, brother. Definitely appreciate where you're coming from. Favorite book you found so far that you want to share? Yeah, I would say watch the videos, man. I mean, the best piece of advice that I can give you is to watch the videos. I mean, they're all great books, right? I mean, let's be honest. And what is my favorite based upon what criteria, right? Are we talking value? Are we talking sentimental? Are we talking historical? Are we talking like, what are we talking about, right? I mean, because favorite is a very broad topic. I mean, because again, at the end of the day, my favorite character is Spider-Man, and I found entire portions of runs of Spider-Man. So it's like The Run is my favorite book because it features Spider-Man. There's a lot of really great books. And what I would say is watch the videos, check out the videos. And then if you've already downloaded Key Collector app, if you head over to Key Collector app, you can actually see the top 10 list of books that I've most recently found. And it's a spectrum of books that are not necessarily based upon value. Some of them are just identified because there's a cool factor that is associated with some of those books. Like the first interior artwork by Sam Keith, just a really cool book, right? Daredevil #1, just a really cool, but also expensive book, right? I mean, there is a range of things that if you go over to Key Collector app that you will actually find in there. I mean, I found a copy of Terror Inc. And many of you probably don't even remember Terror Inc. from the 90s. But for some reason or another, this book is a book that is stuck in my mind since the 90s. And I was going through a bin and actually found a copy of Terror Inc. That was that day my favorite book because my copy at some place was displaced. And I actually found a copy of it in the collection. That was a cool find to me. That book is probably a 50-cent book, but it's a cool book because it reminds me of my childhood. I found a copy of, what was it? G.I. Joe Special Missions #1. This was a book that I actually bought from my little brother back in the day. And I actually bought a copy of it because it reminded me of my brother. And then I found a copy of it in the collection. That was my favorite book that day because it reminded me of my little brother. So there's a lot of definitions for favorite, so hopefully that gives a little bit of context for it. So scrolling down through the comments again, if there's stuff you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. We can definitely check it out. What is this? Can you tell what the previous collection owner's favorite character was? I'm gonna be honest. This dude, man, this dude collected everything. But what I will probably say about him is that his favorite was probably DC. And my guess was that his favorite was Batman. That is a pure guess on my part. And I'm basing that on the sheer number of DC books, the sheer number of Batman books, whether you're talking about Batman or Detective Comics or World's Finest or anything related to Batman. There is a lot of it and there are a lot of copies of it. But then also, if you look at the condition, if you look at the treatment of the Batman related books, whether they are expensive or not, they are mostly bagged and boarded. To me, that is a sign of a person when you put those things together, right? The sheer quantity, the sheer number, and the overall condition, that is a sign in my mind that this person appreciated Batman, which is really cool because I too appreciate Batman as a character. But outside of that, it's hard to say. There were less Marvel books, less X-Men books, less Spider-Man books. But in this case, less means like in some cases less than 5 long boxes, right? I mean, that's what less means, right? Because I mean, I found like 5 boxes of Amazing Spider-Man, right? I mean, 3 boxes of Web of Spider-Man, like on and on and on, right? So less is a relative term given the sheer number of books and boxes that are in the collection. But definitely an impressive collection, no doubt about that one. So scrolling down through the comments again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps because it will actually help me to see it. You need to have your brother on the show sometime and discuss. My brother has a new baby. My brother is not coming on the show. My brother, his baby just had his 1-year birthday. And so my brother is very busy with all of that stuff. And he actually commented on the G.I. Joe video, which caught me off guard because if you guys watched that G.I. Joe video, I actually spoke about my brother in the beginning. I also talked about him in the Turtles video, I do believe. But he watched, no, it was the Turtles video. My bad. I talked about him in the Turtles video. And he actually commented in the comment section, which kind of caught me off guard because I thought he was just going to watch it. I didn't expect him to comment, but he actually commented. And it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to see that. And again, it's one of the fantastic things about having siblings and having these shared experiences and all that kind of stuff, you know. So it was definitely cool to kind of see that one. So Wes says, I just got a 9.8. The boys #1 and a great deal. That's dope, brother. Congrats. I actually saw that. What is it? Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis is doing that non-CGC signing. I think it wasn't Twin Cities. I can't remember who it was. I actually scanned it while I was doing a live stream for work earlier today. It's not a CGC event, but it is definitely an event that is taking place associated with Garth Ennis. So it seems like people may try to take advantage of that stuff. So scrolling down through some of the comments, brother Clay, there is literally everything there. And I'm gonna be completely honest. This is not me dodging the question. There is literally everything in this collection. There are Archies and Bettys and Veronicas, and I haven't found Smurf yet, but I have found what else have I found in there? Beauty and the Beast, Barbie, My Little Pony. There are publishers that you have never heard of before that have gone out of business. There is Marvel, there is DC, there are 3D books. There is a book with Michael Jackson on it. There is literally everything under the sun in this collection, and that is what makes it so much fun, because there is stuff that I have never seen before in my life. There is stuff in there. I have a stack that you can't see. It's actually sitting right here that actually came from Milestone, which I think was like an imprint of DC that was started back in the 90s. There was an entire bin of Milestone related comics that I'm actually looking forward to showing you guys in another video. Just fantastic stuff. Just fantastic stuff. So scrolling down through the comments again, throw it up. People are asking about individual titles. When I tell you that there is everything, if you have that question, it's in. It's almost everything is in there. And there's some person asked me a question about some title I had never even heard of before. And my answer was no, I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean that it's not in there, right? There is literally everything in there. So scrolling down through some of the Milestone is coming. Yes, indeed it is. Yes, indeed. At some point, it will actually show up. Working my way through this thing little by little. I have not found a single Gibbon. Not a single Gibbon. I'm very disappointed by that. Very disappointed that I've not found a single Gibbon, but the search continues. The search continues. Again, if there's things you guys want to throw it up, want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, and we will try to get to it. But definitely excited to try to give you guys an opportunity to pick up some of these books from the 100K collection. The books are available on regiecollects.com. A lot of people have been reaching out to me trying to drop hints about when they're going to be available and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make it official. Rest assured that as more books come in, you will see those books in videos, and you'll see them, and then you'll know that if I'm showing those books, they are probably up on the website as well. That is basically how this thing is going to go. And I definitely would encourage you to stay tuned to the website, because there could be some raw books that actually go up that there isn't a video for, that may get posted at some point. And I'm not dropping hints. I'm honestly not dropping hints right now. I'm just giving you guys context for how I plan to execute things moving forward, just so that there's clarity and people don't feel the need to send me messages to ask questions. So I'm trying to put some of this stuff out here as to how I want to handle it, because I know that there's a lot of excitement around the collection, and I'm very pleased about that. And I want to make sure that we are all on the same page as to how this stuff is going to happen. So again, if there's stuff you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps, and we will chat about it. So scrolling down, the ultimate find, I'm gonna be completely honest, is a massive stack of Amazing Spider-Man 110 in pristine condition. Maybe get me to a 9.8, 9.6. That'd be dope. But one of my first goals with this collection was to root out anything that was associated with Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man in general. So I've kind of prioritized those bins that look like they were Marvel bins or look like Spider-Man bins or look like they might have some Spider-Man in it. Those are the books that I've prioritized, and I have not stumbled upon the treasure trove of Amazing Spider-Man 110. But you never know. You never know what's going to present itself in the next box. You know what I'm saying? Because that's literally how it goes. I've actually found things where the box is completely organized and then there's just a random book in there. And you're like, how did you get here? How did you get here, little fella? Like, who put you here? And it's great because it's one of those surprises that you don't really expect. I mean, I like the stuff that I'm even looking at right now from this seat is just really just fantastic stuff. But you guys are going to have to stay tuned to the video because a lot more of that stuff is going to come out. So, man, that will, woo. I have a feeling that book is not in here. I have a feeling that book is not in here, but that book is still on the radar. We still have a BHAG goal of making that purchase of Amazing Fantasy 15 in 2020. And we are only in July, so we still have a lot of time, space, and opportunity in front of us to be able to make that happen. And I don't think I'm going to stumble upon that book in this collection, but I'm actually quite okay with that because I have a plan. I have a plan. Berg family, my man. Scrolling down through and seeing what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. Jeff, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. My man, Sully 2 Kings. Brother, when are you going to restart your series? Somebody commented on one of your Instagram posts the other day about a character, and I can't remember which one it was. And I was like, oh man, Sully 2 Kings has a new one out. So I went, watched it. It was an old one. So I'm looking forward to, brother, when you get the new one. And thank you for the message earlier today on the Instagram machine. I picked up my my giant size Magneto. It is in the room outside of this room. I have yet to read it because it's been a little crazy since I got home from the comic shop, but I do plan to read it tonight. And I may be going live again to actually talk about some of this stuff. The question is how many, it's tough to say. It really is, right? So my process, and I think I explained this in one of the videos, is that I do a little bit of a spot check while I'm at the storage facility. And then I do a spot check, and based upon what I'm seeing in that bin, if I flip to something that I think could be cool, then I pull the bin and I bring the bin home and I go through it. So as a result of that, I look into a lot of bins, but I don't necessarily go through every single bin that I go through, if that makes sense, right? Because I don't want to spend hours upon hours in the storage facility going book by book by book, bin by bin, right? That's why I do the spot check in order to bring the book home. So I look at a lot of bins, but I don't go through every single bin. And so if you think about the videos that I put out, I maybe put out, 20 videos. So, I mean, that's at least 20 bins right there. But then there's a lot of other bins that get spot checked, a lot of other bins that get opened up off air, because if you think about the various videos where I include a little bit of a haul from the collection, a significant portion, I would imagine, I've actually looked into, and a lesser amount has actually been looked through book by book by book. And roughly, I would say I may do 10 to 20 bins per week. Maybe 10 to 20 bins per week is what I go through. So hopefully that maybe gives a little bit of context. And we are probably 2 months into this stuff. So somebody can do the math. Somebody can do the math and then put that up there and then let me know. Let me know what that looks like, because I don't think in those terms, right? I don't think in terms of, so what percentage have I gone through or touched? I don't think in those terms. When I'm in the storage facility, it's like, okay, what's the book? What's the bin? What's going on in this one? Okay, let's grab this one. Let's do this. Let's get the family. Let's get back in the car. Let's get out of here. Right there was a certain momentum to my activities. So scrolling down, brother, I've been looking at that Amazing Spider-Man 110 9.6 on eBay for about 2 weeks now, because that might be the same book. I've been looking at that book for about 2 weeks now, and I can't bring myself to do it because there's other things that I'm trying to prioritize, and I just can't pull the trigger. But it might disappear. You never know. It might actually disappear at some point. scrolling down through the comments again, if you guys have some questions, comments, thoughts, throw it up in all caps. It'll actually help me to see it a little bit wet. Whoa, Tina, what are you doing? You trying to get your own Gibbon gang over there? Tina is over there amassing a small Gibbon gang. She has her third ASM 110 on the way. I think you probably have almost as many as me now. What's funny is I was looking at the hashtag Gibbon gang on the Instagram machine, and I was scrolling through looking at the various the images that have been tagged with Gibbon gang. And there was a guy with a tattoo of Gibbons. And I was like, ooh, who is this guy? So I click on it, and it's just a guy on his side, on his basically a serratus that has a there were basically four Gibbons. It was like a Gibbon gang tattoo, and I was like, boo, that's a bit extreme. And he was just a random guy. I guess he likes monkeys. I don't know. I don't know what was up with that. But yeah, that's a bit much. All these people, all these books Reggie's selling. Brother, don't give away my secrets. Don't give away my secrets. But there is definitely a plan. There is a plan. And I told you guys many months ago that sometimes some plans are very direct and sometimes plans are a little bit of a meander, right? And so, but rest assured, there is a plan. There is a process. There is something that I'm actually working towards. And I won't tell you what it is because maybe you'll see it coming, maybe you won't. Regie, Legally Burning, another fantastic artist right here. Holla at you, brother. It's good to see you. So he says, Regie, favorite Spider-Man costume and favorite Spider-Man villain. The black costume, man, is probably my favorite, just hands down. I was a big fan of the way Spidey looked in the black costume, so I'm a huge fan of that. I also like the Steve Ditko version of a Spider-Man with the webbing under his arm. I always thought that was pretty cool. So I dig that. The Cosmic Spidey Spider-Man uniform is pretty solid. I dig that one. And then my favorite villain, it's old school. It's old school stuff for me. So it's people like the Vulture, and so the old school Vulture, the old man, I just always got a kick out of him, right? So I was always a big fan of that. And the Scorpion are probably two of my favorite villains when it comes to Spider-Man. Those are just two old school guys. And again, I like a lot of Silver Age Spidey, so that might be part of the reason why those two characters kind of hit home for me. But Spider-Man has so many fantastic characters, villains around him, whether you're talking about like the Molten Man or Doc Ock, who is just super dope. I mean, there are so many fantastic Silver Age villains that I could tick off that I really just enjoy reading about, you know? So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. Yeah, I normally, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't do a whole lot of hey, will you hold this for me and let me come back and get it? I don't do a whole lot of that, especially if I don't know people. I've done it a couple of times, and a couple of people have been super honorable people and circled back and did exactly what they committed to, and a couple of times it hasn't necessarily worked out. But you try to do what you think is the right thing to do by people, and I think there's like a handful of times it hasn't worked out. And it's all good. But a lot of times, people are like, hey, I just need a few days, which I respect. But, generally speaking, the way that it's being done now, it's on the website. It's available. If it's there, it's yours. If it's not, things happen. So scrolling through the comments here, seeing what else is going on. I see a CGC box to the right. No, you missed it. The CGC boxing video was already done a few days ago, right? What we are talking about here is announcing the fact that all of those books, except for one that were unboxed previously, are now available for sale on regiecollects.com. And part of the reason why I'm making that announcement is because this just arrived. This little roll right here that will allow me to put a little sticker on those comics that basically says Regie Collects Pedigree Collection, and the air quotes is there, or the quotes are there because it's not a true pedigree collection, but it's definitely a collection, in my opinion, that I am very proud of. I'm very proud to actually be the owner, if you will, the caretaker of this particular collection, and now giving people out there an opportunity to own a part of it as well. So again, that stuff is all available on regiecollects.com for you guys to be able to check it out. So scrolling. Are those all of Tina's nicknames? That's awesome. That is awesome. Jorge, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. He says, finally caught your show live. Well, here's the thing, Jorge. It is good to see you, brother. And I do these impromptu live streams, man, at random times, random days when the mood strikes me, when I'm inspired, when something happens that prompts me to go live, I jump on. But it definitely happy to have you here, brother. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the channel, my man. There is indeed a method to the madness. Shout out to my man, Ariel. It's good to see you, bro. Definitely good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Scrolling. I will probably not be doing subscription boxes. I did that. I played around with the mystery box thing, which I thought was cool. And the subscription box thing is another idea. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm a big fan of trying to carve out my own space in this hobby of ours. Somebody reached out to me the other day and they were basically like, hey, I watch Comic Tom, I watch Shipment, I watch Jim's Collectibles, I watch you, I watch Bueller. And the person was basically saying, like, you all are very different. Like, every person that I just mentioned is very, very different from one another. We all cover the same stuff, if you will, that being comics and funny pages, but we all do it very differently with our own style, with our own flair, with our own spin to the stuff. And I think that's actually what's really cool about it, is that everybody is all doing their thing. And then who really benefits from that is like you guys, because you guys get to watch different perspectives, different personalities talk about the funny pages, which is something we all enjoy. And as part of that, I try to, as best I can, not step on the toes of those other people out there. And it's like partly out of respect. It's partly out of, you know what, I need to do my thing, and I need to do what's genuine to me, and I need to do what feels authentic to me. And I also want to give you your space to do your thing, because it's not easy to be different and unique in many ways, right? And so, like, there's a reason why I don't do coffee related stuff. And I only really drink two things, water and coffee, right? I don't do coffee related stuff because Bueller does coffee, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm stepping on Bueller's toes. And and Bueller's a friend. So I want to give Bueller the respect that he deserves to be able to do his thing. And so when it comes to things like, like subscription boxes, that's a Comic Tom thing. That's a mail order thing. That's his thing. He is grinding it. And is there room for two of us in there? Absolutely, to do it. But that's not me. That wasn't my idea, and I don't want to step on his toes to do it. And so I'm not poo-pooing your idea or what you threw out there. I'm just saying I want to provide context for why I don't do certain things. There's a reason why I don't do auctions. There's a reason for it, right? I like to be different. I like to be unique. I like to stand apart, because it's being true to myself, and it also offers you guys up some content that is different. If every channel was the same, man, that's just boring. Scrolling down through the comments here again, if there's stuff you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. And Jason, how you doing, brother? Tryson one day. Yes. Well, that one was a pre-recorded, so that's different. That is different. Me going live multiple times in a day is exhausting. So you might not see that all that often. So what was this? What would be the third best PGX or EGS? Here's the thing. Based upon what criteria? Right? I mean, I think you have to, it's tough to say that any of them are the best. And there's actually a video on the channel, if you search Regie Collects Best Grading Company, where I actually talk about this. Best based upon what? Based upon values, based upon the size of census data, based upon comic book sales, based upon offerings, based upon services, based upon turnaround time, based upon cost, based upon personal preference, like based upon what, So I think that, I think people want to create these rank lists. And at the end of the day, it's really about what is best for you as an individual. Right? What is best for you as an individual? That is the best grading company to actually go with. And I had like I mentioned earlier in this live stream, I had a fantastic conversation with a creator earlier today, fantastic artist in the local comic shop. And we talked about how he does work with CGC, but he also likes CBCS. And he actually liked my review that I did of the CBCS case and is actually thinking about sending them some books to actually get graded that way. I saw somebody earlier today actually submitting books over to EGS. They were sending books in, and I think the comment was now the wait begins, and they sent the books off. Somebody reached out to me earlier today. They actually just bought a PGX book, and they're actually going to send it in to CGC to have it re-encapsulated. My point is that what's the best is very much a subjective thing. And I think that it's up to each individual to decide what is best for them, you know? So that's kind of how I would handle that one. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Scrolling down through the comments again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. How do I feel about Mexican variants? I love it. No, I don't know that I have an opinion about the Mexican variants. I own a couple because they've been AOKs that have been sent to me. I think that variants in general are cool if they fit with your collection and if they are something that you enjoy, right? Because the hobby is all about enjoyment to some degree or another. It's your money. You decide how you want to spend it. And if you want to buy Mexican variants or French variants or Canadian variants or any of that other kind of stuff, I say go for it. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's something that I'm into. Like I personally don't buy Mexican variants. I don't buy foreign language variants or any of that other stuff. But it's no different than I don't buy the Mark Jewelers variants. If I happen to see one, if I'm able to get one, I'll buy one. I don't buy Canadian variants. If I happen to see one, I'll get one. But that's not how I find enjoyment in the hobby. Doesn't make it wrong. For me, it's not my cup of tea. So hopefully that helps. Oliver, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Regie can take out all the no, man, and that's the thing is a lot of us actually talk behind the scenes. Like I occasionally talk to Comic Tom. I occasionally talk to Bueller. I actually had an opportunity earlier this week to talk to Jim Mint. I've never actually spoken to Jim Mint before, but Jim actually rolled into, I want to say it was the Sunday Ready, Set, Go preview show, and I completely missed him. I was doing my thing and completely missed him coming into the chat. And I actually reached out to him via the Instagram machine. I was like, hey, I heard you were in the chat. Sorry, I missed you, bro. And he was like, you were doing your thing. He was like, you were on a tear. It's all good. So we had a brief little exchange and that was pretty cool, you know? So, but a lot of us, you know, occasionally talk behind the scenes. There are larger and smaller YouTubers that I talk to on a regular basis. And to me, again, it's just one of those cool things about the platform and about social media is that we have the ability to interact with these folks, you know. So scrolling down through the comments again, if there's stuff you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps because it will actually help me to see it a little bit better. What is this? CGC needs to put out a PA video for them as well. CGC needs to put out a PA video for them as well. I don't know what, maybe that was in context of something I was saying. I'm not tracking that one. Sorry, brother. Sorry. Jen, how you doing, brother? Welcome. It has indeed been a while. Thank you. Even though you've been away for a while, you still spell my name correctly. So thank you very much for that. Welcome back. Hopefully we will see you. Yeah, man, I completely missed it. And shout out to the Blue Wrench. Shout out to the Blue Wrench for being like, Regie, I think the guy Jim Mint was here. That was the message that anytime I miss something or mess something up, I get the kindest, best messages from Tina. She keeps me so honest on stuff. I am so thankful for her because she was like, hey, the Jim Mint guy was here. And I was like, Jim Mint. And I misread her message the first time. I was like, yeah, he's a popular YouTuber. He's got, 86,000 subscribers. Big guy. I used to watch him before. And basically I missed the whole point. And it took like a couple of messages. And I was like, so wait a minute. You saying Jim Mint was in the room? Sometimes I miss the point of something entirely. It definitely happens. 1991 X-Men #1 worth getting graded. Depends on what you're talking about. So I'll be honest with you. I did a whole stack of those X-Men books, a whole stack of X-Men #1 from the 90s. Here's the thing. They were all newsstand and they were all 9.8s. Got every single one of them slabs graded and sold. Every single one of them except for a full set that I kept in my own collection. So what I would say to you is that if you believe that you have a book that is a 9.8 from a dollars and cents perspective, it might make sense to do it. Well, let me restate. It may make sense if the book is a 9.8, if you really believe that it is, but it also potentially could be cheaper for you to just buy that book outright, depending upon how much you buy the book for, what your, whether you need it clean, pressed, and then what your grading costs are. It may be cheaper to maybe buy it at a 9.8 versus trying to send in a raw copy, hoping for a 9.8. What was great with me is that I had a whole stack of them. And I literally laid them out and I picked the best of the best. And those were the ones that were cleaned and pressed by me and then went in to be graded. And I screened them at a 9.6 and above, and a healthy number of them came back at 9.8. And then I turned around and offered them back to the comic book community. So I think you just got to look at it and see what actually makes sense for you. So looking through the comments here, I'm trying to scroll up because I missed a lot. Scrolling. Did I read? I've not really read any Nightwing, bro. No Nightwing have I read. And there's actually at least 2 bins in the collection right now that are labeled Nightwing. Haven't even opened them up. Yeah, I haven't read any. I'm guessing you're suggesting that maybe it's a dope book to read. And if that's correct, throw it up in all caps so I can actually see it. I'm guessing it's also a current book because it sounds like the way you're asking it, it's leading me to believe that it may be a new book, Bob. So just circle back with me in all caps to actually help me to be able to see it. So scrolling down, brother. Is it Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Don't throw me off. What books am I looking forward to? Yours is the 3 Joker miniseries. It's hard, man. I think that there are a couple of books from Gung Ho or from Ablaze Studios like Gung Ho that I'm looking forward to checking out for sure. Stealth #4 I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to reading this giant-sized Magneto that's in the other room right now. There is, of course, Thor 6, waiting for that to come out. I'm also looking forward to reading Venom, the next Venom that drops. Want to see more about Dylan and where that story is going. There's a lot of books that I'm honestly looking forward to as I'm thinking about it. So yeah, there's a healthy number of them. So scrolling down through the comments here and scrolling, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Hope to take the plunge and get a book or 2 graded. Yeah, man. I mean, it's again, it's one of those things that you should do it if it makes sense for you, and if it doesn't, then you definitely shouldn't. And then which grading company, again, will be decided upon the services and the features that you find most appealing and attractive for your collection. But it's one of those things, man. Don't rush it. Don't rush it until you're ready to do it. And then when you're ready to do it, just commit to the thing. Just commit to the thing. So what is this? You should be a rep CGC video. Are you exclusively with Go Collect? No, brother. I am not exclusive to anybody. I am a free and independent contractor that has the ability to work with anybody. And in fact, that's one of the things that I was very careful about negotiating with all of my deals. I don't work with people that require exclusivity. I just don't, because that's like that old school thing, right? In many ways, I consider myself almost like a journalist, if you will, in the sense that I try to provide people like old school journalists, right? I try to provide people with information that they need to be able to make informed decisions for themselves. I try not to tell people what to do and to bias them. Sometimes I'm more successful than others. But to that point, I don't sign these exclusive deals because if there's something I don't like, I'm not going to sign up for it, right? And then, like, even with some of the blog posts that come out from Go Collect, I don't always agree with the bloggers. And I was very clear with Go Collect that I'm not going to endorse a blog post that I don't believe in. And I'm going to, like, if I don't agree with it, I'm going to say I don't agree with it. And they're actually perfectly fine with that. There are some people that I've worked with in the past that I no longer work with because they wanted to try to do that exclusive stuff. And that's just, it's not my gig. It's not my gig. But, you know, the thing is that CGC is definitely a really cool company. I have relationships with them. But, you know, in some ways they don't really work with anybody. Not really. They don't really work with any content creators that are out there. I mean, they do some things, but they not like the Go Collect thing that I do. That's very different. If CGC wants to ink a deal, CGC, let's talk about it. Scrolling down through the comments here. Look out for those Wildcats #1 grifters. Yeah, man. Yeah. What was it? Grifter was supposed to be appearing. It was something related to Batman. And I scanned it the other day, and I can't remember what the team up was supposed to be with Grifter, but I think it's the writer. I think it's the writer for Batman that wants the Grifter to be part of what he's working on. And I did not read the full article. I just kind of glanced at it. But man, I have a bunch of Wildcats. I'm ready. I am ready. Wildcats #1 Gold Edition by Jim Lee is sitting right there on the wall. I am all set. I am all set. Again, if you guys do, I will throw this out there to the point that we've just been making about CGC and all this other stuff. If you guys do decide to pull the trigger and get a CGC membership, there is a link in the description of all my videos. It's an affiliate link. I actually get a couple of bucks from CGC to do video, to send in books to get graded. And then I do videos from those things. So if you guys would ever be so kind as to click the link down in the description of the video, that would greatly be appreciated. So scrolling down through the comments here, man, I'm gonna tell you, the thing is, you know, like, and a lot of people view me as somebody that's exclusively CGC, but I would encourage people to actually look at some of the videos in which I've released where I talk about some of the things that CGC has done that I don't agree with. I've put out videos where I've called, I've made comments about like the labels that they came out with as a money grab. I've made a couple of videos along those descriptions about money grabs and some of the detrimental things that could happen from third-party grading. I would also look at the fact that CBCS actually asked me to review one of their cases, even though you see nothing but, if you will, CGC in the room. I think they also recognize that I am a person that can take a step back from my personal perspective and actually evaluate something based upon the actual facts and not personal preference. And to me, the fact that CBCS trusted me to do a review of their case is a really great sign and testament to how I approach things. I don't rant, I don't rave. I provide people with information. And if you ask me my opinion, then I will offer that up. But and a lot of times I prefer to offer my opinion in one-on-one settings and not a large group like this. But if someone asks me my personal opinion and perspective, I will offer that up. Or if I do a video and I'll be like, hey, this is all of my personal opinions. But again, my big thing is providing people with information so that they can make some informed decisions for themselves. So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Supposed to be showing up in Batman 101. Man, the Grifter was a cool character, and the Wildcats as a whole were a really cool character. I just found out from one of you guys, you tagged me on Instagram. I didn't know that there was a video game for Wildcats back in the day. Just 5 months ago, I found that there was a cartoon back in the day and had to watch that a little bit on the YouTube machine. So I continue to improve my understanding of what is out there. But I'm looking forward to if he can pull the Grifter into a Batman story. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. The Wildcats is a great property, in my opinion, that I don't even think they're doing anything with right now. So it'll be cool to kind of see some of those characters actually come back to life. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. All right, so I'm going to scroll up because I've reached the bottom. So if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. And I will tell you, there's some cool stuff. There's some cool. Oh, there was a super chat. I missed it. So Bob, thank you, brother. I totally missed it. Oh, well done, brother. I will not let them steal my joy. I won't let that happen. And now I have $2. It's my defense fund. It's my joy. What is it? Joy Thief Defense Fund. Well done, Bob. Well done. Well done. I got a kick out of that. I will tell you guys. Sorry, I'm too busy laughing. That was a good one. I read these things and I never quite know where they're going until the end. There are some things on the horizon. I will tell you guys, there are some things on the horizon that I'll be announcing here from the channel that don't involve me selling books. Let's put it that way. But there's going to be some cool stuff that is going to be coming up from the channel that I'm very excited about. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned to the various updates that may be coming out. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I definitely want to encourage you to do that as well, because there's some cool stuff that hopefully I will be announcing here very soon. Trinidad. Oh, must be a military thing. Must be a military thing going on. Scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Again, throw it up in all caps if you guys want to talk about what's up, Reggie and the Gibbon Gang. Jeff, how you doing? My man Jerry, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling up through the comments. Man, Amazing Spider-Man 111 is a trippy story. It involves Craven, the Gibbon, and various potions, drugs, and other accoutrements. It is a super trippy story, in my opinion. But Amazing Spider-Man 110 is definitely a good read. 111 is a good read, but it's a trippy read. It is a trippy read. Craven was on something else. What is this? What's up with the Spider-Man #1 slab and Fantastic Four? Can't see the label. So this one right there, that Fantastic Four #1 right there, that particular book is actually a green label. It was part of a project that I actually did where I basically sent out two blank sketch variants to YouTubers across the country. Basically went from YouTuber to YouTuber, and each YouTuber had an opportunity to sign the book and or sketch the book. And so there were 2 books that I sent around, and I ended up getting both of the books back. I had both of the books graded and slabbed by CGC, so they got the green label. And then I gave one of the books away. Gave one of the books away back to the comic book community. I can't even remember who got the book, but I gave the book away, and then I kept one of the books myself. So yeah, that book back there was actually, both of the books were actually signed by, people like Bueller and Thanatos and Backseat Driver, and From Heroes to Icons. Boy Who Had 7, RB3. I mean, a couple of YouTubers that aren't even really doing content anymore. So that was a really cool one. And then the Spider-Man #1, which is, I think, which one is that? Oh, the Spider-Man #1, this one over here, this is actually a gift from my wife. When my wife got me back into the hobby a couple of years ago, she actually bought me a small collection. And one of the things that was in that collection was a signed copy of Spider-Man #1 from the 90s, signed by Todd McFarlane. And so I actually sent it in to CGC. I knew I was going to get a green label, but it was a gift from my wife, so I did it. And those are, I think, the only 2 green label books in my entire collection. So both of them are really cool books that I'll probably never leave the collection unless I end up giving that one away. I mean, you never know. You never know. I may get inspired to do something. Looks like another super chat came in. So Trinidad Ray, thank you, brother. He says, thanks for your CGC submission video. Will you ever do a top 15 modern books to collect? Do you think the She-Hulk and Omega Red books will blow up? So let's break this down. So I would say you're welcome for the video. I think that's how a lot of people actually find me, is through that CGC submission video. I want to say that video has been viewed like, I don't know, some crazy amount of time, 10,000, 11,000 times or something like that. A lot of people find me through that. There's actually a second video, which is not as popular. I think the quality of that video was a little grainy, so I don't think people watch that one as much. But I'm glad you were able to find me. Again, thank you for the super chat. So do I think that She-Hulk and Omega Red books will blow up? I think that both of those books, like the She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk #1, And then some of the other She-Hulk books by John Byrne, I think some of those books have some potential to actually go up in value. Blow up, in my head, when I hear that word, I think Miles Morales blow up, and I would say that She-Hulk, in my mind, doesn't have that potential. I think that book will be a book that will go up in value, but it'll be a steady increase in value. That's my general impression with that one. Unless something like unforeseen happens, right? Like all of a sudden she pops up in a movie or something like that. That may be a very different thing. But Miles Morales' level of popularity with She-Hulk, I struggle with that one. Omega Red is a character that I think captivates a lot of people. I think it's a fantastic character. I think that there's a lot of room for this character to continue rising in popularity, but I think that they need to do something with him. They need to do something special with that character, in my opinion. Some of his early appearances are okay, not great, but like they're okay. They're not really fantastic, right? And so I would like to see some things actually happen with that character that, raises his profile. But even there, blow up to the Miles Morales level, because again, that's my frame of mind. Noel and I'm thinking Noel and Miles Morales. I would say no. I don't think either one of those books have the potential. X-Men 4, I think, is going to be a book that is going to slowly increase in value. And if Marvel does something really interesting with Omega Red, you could see some spikes and some increases in value. But blow up, I don't think so. The part here, will I ever do a top 15 modern books to collect? I would say I would probably never do that video. And I would say that because there's a lot of people out there that do those types of videos. I mean, even Go Collect has a list of the top modern books right on their website, and the bloggers write blog posts about those particular books. So, I would say that the data that Go Collects has at its disposal to create that list is probably the best a great data set to be able to use, right? Because they're doing it based upon sales performance. And so that's a good list. Or Cover Price has a top list. I mean, everybody has a top list. Tom puts out a top list. Everybody has a top list. And so to the point that I was making earlier, I would probably not replicate something that is already out there being done by somebody else. So I probably would not touch that. So hopefully that answers your questions, Trinidad Ray. Definitely appreciate that, brother. Scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Gibbon selling drugs. Oh, Mighty Liger King, I need to do better with reading your comments. Chris, brother, thank you for the super chat, my man. I definitely appreciate that. The thing, man, is that I do a lot of this stuff off the top of my head, right? And so I'm kind of reacting to some of what I'm seeing like in real time, and I try to be fair and balanced. I try to think through it, but I'm also very much in the moment, and it's not like I'm crunching numbers up here. But at the end of the day, I try to keep a level head about this stuff, and I try to think through it, even if I am doing it on the fly. But in all things, I always recommend people to go out, do their own research, and make some informed decisions for themselves based upon what they believe to be true. Because I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy with a microphone, fantastic smile, and a couple of cameras. I mean, I just, but it's like I'm having fun, and I think you guys appreciate it for what it is. So I definitely appreciate that. So scrolling up through the comments here. Trinidad's on a roll here. Trinidad, brother, you are on a roll. So let's see. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. What does this say? Speaking of Omega Red, everyone who buys Marvel Legends, what's his body to be used for more figures? Oh, got it. So what is this? Do you think the Red Goblin will make a return as big as the Null hype? I'm hoping. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the Red Goblin. But the idea of Marvel basically combining two characters into one, two popular characters into one, that being the Hobgoblin and Carnage into a single character indefinitely, is something that I do not think has long-term potential, because they're basically taking two into one. And that's never necessarily a good thing, because I think each one of those characters is wildly popular, right? I think that there could be potentially something that is done with Normie, right? They could do something with Normie, because technically he still has the Green Goblin inside of him. I think it's the Green Goblin that's still inside of him, because he was made into like the baby goblin. So maybe there's something that could be done there. But as far as combining two characters into one, I struggle with that one. I was a big fan of the Red Goblin storyline. I actually have a couple of the books over here graded because I like that. I like that character. I dug that character. Does it have the potential to be like? Again, I don't think so. But a lot could change, right? A lot could change with the right writer, because the right writer will have the freedom and flexibility to tell some fantastic stories, because that's part of what helps these characters to rise in popularity, is that they tell some fantastic stories, and then they are put on a pedestal. They're put on a different playing field. And that's essentially what's happening with Noel. Noel is about to take it to the entire Marvel universe. This is one of the things that helps to kind of solidify a character for decades. This is the kind of stuff, if done right? Look at Thanos. Thanos took on the Marvel universe, right? Back in Thanos Quest, right? And it took some time for him, but that character has been around, created by Jim Starlin, has been around for a very long time. Incredibly popular character. And the question is, will Noel get to that level of respectability and longevity as like a Thanos? Could there be movies? Could he be the next big bad at some point in the next 10 years? Anything is possible. With the right writer doing the thing and having the freedom to tell some really epic stories to grow that fan base where people are like calling for these characters to come to the screen. I think it's possible. But the Red Goblin, with the Red Goblin as he originally appeared, I struggle with that one, right? So I don't know, but you never know. Let's put it that way. So scrolling down through the comments here, looking to get a Thor 5, says someone over there, scrolling through the comments here. All right, so I am probably going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I've been on here for almost 60 minutes right there. 95 of you guys hanging out here. Definitely appreciate you guys being part of what was intended to be a quick and impromptu live stream, has now turned into a 60-minute fantastic discussion. So I definitely want to thank everybody that has been here for part of this conversation. I want to thank all those people that dropped the super chat. I definitely want to yes, I am going to be picking that up. It is whoa, no. Wait a minute, am I getting that one? I think I am getting that one. Yeah, I was there today. My guy sold out, but some of what he had was damaged, and they're sending him more, and he's got a couple of copies for me. So I will end up getting the second print of Venom 25. So, but I want to thank you guys for hanging out. All the Patreon members, shout out to all you guys. I'd absolutely appreciate it. For anyone that came in a little bit late, the point of this live stream was to let everybody know that there are books from the 100K collection that are now available for sale on regiecollects.com. All of those books will actually come with one of these awesome stickers that I created right here on my fancy computer. And it is a removable sticker. So if you get the book and you like the book, but you don't like the sticker, you can always remove it. And I don't think there will be any damage to the slab at all. So anyway, if you guys need to reach out to me, you can actually do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. If you need to send me an email, you can do that as well at Regie@regiecollects.com. And don't forget the website, regiecollects.com. Take care.